Hello and welcome to your morning practice. My name is Keegan, the Balanced Nomad, and today is day 4 of the Gentle Morning Yoga practice. If you haven't already done the first 3 days of this challenge, I definitely recommend checking them out so you can dedicate this week to starting your days with gentle movement and mindfulness. Today's going to be a super calming practice, and we're going to start in a child's pose position. So optional to take extended child's pose with knees apart, toes together, or a seed variation with knees together and hands behind you. So really just choose what feels best to you this morning. And bringing forehead to the mat. We're gonna start to tune in to our breath here. Taking 5 slow, deep breaths in this position. And asking yourself if you have an intention for your practice, how you'd like to feel on the mat as well as off the mat for the rest of your day. These morning practices are really good for starting off your day on the right foot and setting the tone for how you want to feel today. From this child's pose, we're going to move into tabletop. You can keep knees slightly wider than our hip distance position, and we're going to inhale, dropping chest, bringing the gaze up, coming to our cow pose. Exhaling, rounding out through the spine, and pushing ourselves back into child's pose. This won't be the full extension of child's pose. And inhaling, finding our cow pose. Exhale, rounding out through the spine and pushing ourselves back into child's pose. And repeating this for a few rounds, really moving to the rhythm of your own breath. And after your last child's pose, just meeting in a neutral spine, we can bring knees underneath the hips here. Just make any adjustments so hands are underneath the shoulders. And we're going to straighten out through that left leg, just tucking the toes, stretching out through the back of the leg. We can move back and forth, giving ourselves a nice ankle stretch, maybe moving in some circles, warming up through the wrists here as well. And reversing the direction of these circles. And lifting up that left leg, adjusting the weight, bringing weight into that left hand, finding a little bit of a balance here. We're gonna lift up that right hand if that feels okay for you. Finding a little bit of a balance. Releasing that right hand down, and from here, bringing the right foot to the top of the mat on the outside of the hands, coming into our lizard pose. You can stay up on the palms here, also optional to come down to elbows if you have the space available. But we are still in the beginning of our practice, so don't push yourself too intensely here. And we're gonna move through a twist here. So 2 options, either just placing the left hand on the top of the knee and looking behind the shoulder, or if you have the space available, bending into that right leg and grabbing a hold of the foot with the left hand. Gaze is behind you. And if you had a hold of the foot, just slowly releasing it, bringing hands back and moving back to our tabletop pose. And making any adjustments, making sure our hands are underneath shoulders and maybe shaking out the hips, just releasing this posture. And once again, we're gonna plant those right toes and move ourselves back and forth, stretching out through the back of the leg and the ankle. And we can move into some circles here, warming up through the wrists as well. And we can take this in the opposite direction. And readjusting and lifting into that right leg, finding a little balance, bringing the weight into the right hand. We can straighten through that left arm, finding a bit of a balance here. Dropping that right hand and bringing the right foot to the outside of the hands. Optional to stay up on hands or come to elbows if you have the space available. And once again, moving to this twist, bringing the right hand to the top of the right knee, choosing to stay here or bending into that left leg, grabbing a hold with the right hand and looking over the shoulder, finding this twist. Keeping breath steady. And if you had a hold of the foot, very gently releasing it, bringing hands back to the inside of the feet and coming back to our tabletop position. From here, just finding some standard cat and cow. So we're gonna inhale, dropping chest, bringing gaze up to the sky. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, bringing chin to chest. Inhaling, dropping chest down to the mat, bringing gaze upwards. And last time, pushing into cat pose. Coming to a neutral spine here. We're just gonna walk our hands forward, coming to puppy pose for a few breaths, bringing either chin or forehead to the mat. Feeling this nice heart opener. And coming down to our forearms, moving through Sphinx here. Just here for a few breaths, feeling this back bend. Gaze can be slightly upwards. And once again, we're just gonna push into our child's pose. Just here for 2 breaths to transition. Planting hands into the mat, moving to downward dog from here. Heels may or may not be on the ground, no worries either way. Can paddle out the legs, finding a bit of movement. And straightening up Inhaling, finding our 3-leg dog, bringing up the left leg, bringing the left knee to the back of the left wrist, coming to pigeon pose, straightening through that right leg. Inhaling, finding a bit of a back bend. You can stay up on palms here, or maybe choosing to fold ourselves down. Can stay up on elbows, or optional to bring forehead to mat. If you were down on the mat, just pressing ourselves back up, bringing the weight into that left glute and crossing the right leg over top of the left, finding our cow legs here. If this is too intense for you, you can also just choose to do a seated cross-leg position with right shin in front. This can be quite intense, especially in the morning, so you can choose to stay upright here or come into a forward fold. You don't need to go very far to feel this one. It is quite an intense pose. So just fold to whatever feels okay, and you can drop the head as well. Just bringing breath to any of the areas you're feeling sensation here. Try to soften into them. And walking ourselves up and release the legs, just coming back into tabletop for a second, shaking out the hips, planting through the palms, and once again meeting in our downward facing dog, choosing stillness or maybe a bit of movement. We can inhale, bringing that right leg up to our 3-leg dog, and bringing right knee behind the right wrist, finding our pigeon pose. Shin does not need to be straight here, so just choose whatever feels best. Walking up on fingertips, finding a bit of a back bend. Choosing to stay up on fingertips or folding ourselves forward. Maybe coming to elbows, or if it feels okay, bringing forehead to the mat. Walking ourselves up with the hands, bringing weight to that right glute and crossing left leg over, finding our cow pose or knee pile. And again, if this is just way too much for you this morning, just finding a seated cross-leg position with left shin in front. You can stay here if this is enough sensation, or find a slight forward fold. Do not need to go far here at all. Bringing breath to any areas you need to soften. And walking ourselves up with the hands, straightening through our legs. Finding Janusharasana, our head to knee pose, bringing the left foot to the inner thigh of the right leg, inhaling and folding forward, trying to bring head to knee, but really just grabbing whatever is available to you, maybe onto the shin, ankle, or bottom of the foot. Dropping head down, just here for a few breaths. Walking ourselves up with the hands. Planting that left foot into the mat, just finding a little twist here. Gaze goes behind the left shoulder. Releasing, finding our head to knee pose on the opposite side, bending through that right leg, bringing the foot to the inner left thigh. We inhale and fold ourselves forward, grabbing whatever is available and maybe dropping the head if that feels okay for the neck. Walking hands up. Planting that right foot into the mat, finding this twist again, inhaling with left arm, hooking it to the right knee. Gaze goes over our right shoulder. And releasing. Just coming to the center of our mat. Before we close, we're just gonna find a few side bends. So just inhaling, exhaling, bending over to our left side, planting either left palm or elbow. Gaze goes up to the sky. Inhale brings us up. And an exhale brings us over to the right, staying up on palm or coming to right elbow. Inhaling up, exhaling over to the left. Last inhale up and exhale to the right. And we meet in neutral. Just taking 3 breaths here before we close. And bringing hands to our forehead and bowing forward. Namaste. Thank you so much for showing up here for yourself today. I hope you enjoyed day 4 of this challenge, and I hope to see you tomorrow in day 5. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon.